Don't worry, I can see them too. You're just as sane as I am. Yes, I have that awesome shirt from the Harry Potter Studios. And I also have the I Must Not Tell Lies Harry Potter mug. Yes, I'm decked out in Harry Potter gear, which can only mean one thing. I'm fangirling. Hello, my bookworms, and welcome to my review on Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This book, it is very, very popular amongst the booktube community and the reading community. Everybody's reading it or has read it or has it in their TBR piles. I read this back in January, and yes, I am fully aware it's April now. I'm still really far behind, but yeah, my laptop decided to, have its time of the month and delete the original video, so here I am again. You can just see the love my laptop has for me. Fangirl! What is this story about? Basically, in a quick sum up, it's about a young girl named Kath who is attending university for the very first time. Everyone can relate to that, that social anxiety, that fear of going off and doing something on your own for the very first time with a whole bunch of new people. It's not like high school. You don't have all of your old friends because some of them went to different colleges, and those who did stay with you, aren't really your friends in your college years. Kath's story is a little bit different because she has a twin sister named Ren who is attending the same university with her. The only difference is her sister Ren doesn't want to room with Kath, so Kath is forced into this whole new situation with someone completely new that she doesn't really at first get along with, while her twin sister is off having the time of her life. Basically, you're just going through this journey with Kath on her first year in university, the ups, the downs, the I don't want to do this anymore, the oh yes, I can do this, it's finally almost over, and it's a lot of fun. This is a very warm and bubbly book. I count it in my feels books, because you really feel something for these characters because they're all relatable. You know someone like that. It's not like the fantasy young adult books or some of the other contemporary young adult books where you read some of these characters and you're like, no, I'm not seeing it. For me, Kath was probably the most relatable because she would hide away within herself and she would do writing, which is, well, what I did. In the story Fangirl, there is this fandom of Simon Snow, which is pretty much the equivalent of Harry Potter. Kath and her sister Ren are both big Simon Snow fans, though Ren has sort of, in a way, fallen away from that fandom while Kath is still going headstrong. She writes fan fictions. She's really popular amongst the fan fiction community, and when she takes this creative writing class, she realizes fan fiction, well, it's not really writing, is it? Or so her professor says. And we've all been through that, whether it be college or high school, that you have that one professor where you're like, I did awesome on this, I'm so excited, I'm really good at this, and they shoot you down, and you're like, why? So Kath's social anxiety can relate to a lot of people on that front because Kath is put into this whole new situation that she, for one, doesn't really want to be in, and she has to learn how to cope with it and deal with it, and it's a lot of fun, and she has a lot of first-time experiences with, alcohol and, seeing her sister drunk off her ass and fun things like that. So that is pretty much my really quick synopsis of this book. It's a young girl attending college for the very first time on her own and has to learn how to deal with it and the social anxieties. It's a very relatable book, whether you write fan fiction or a part of a fandom or not. It's relatable with the social anxiety, with having to do something for the very first time by yourself without, let's say, your best friend by your side. You're off, you're doing something new, and whether you like it or not, you have to deal with it. Fangirl, I give it A+. It's probably going to be in my top favorite books of 2014 because I read it in like a day. Seriously, the only time I put it down was to sleep and to shower. That was it. I do highly recommend this book to everybody. It's not, I know I said it's kind of like a fluffy read, but it's not, super fluffy and girly where guys can't sit down and enjoy this either. Guys go through the same thing with the social anxiety and all of that. There are a few things that I didn't really like about this book, and I'm going to keep them small and brief. With the start of every chapter, you get a peek into the Simon Snow world. It's either the actual stuff taken from the book that was written by Rainbow Rowell, don't get that confused. is no Simon Snow. Or it's fan fiction, whether it's written by Kath or someone else. It's every chapter, it's there. For some reason, I didn't like that. I tended to brush over it. I mean, when Kath was reading her fanfiction out loud to certain somebody, I read that because that was part of the story. When it was just there to be like, oh, this is Simon Snow, get to know Simon Snow. It kind of felt like Rainbow Rowell was, prepping us for a Simon Snow series to come out. On the topic of Simon Snow, I said it is basically Harry Potter in this world. There was one thing I really did dislike about that. The mention of Harry Potter. You can't mention Harry Potter if you're, gonna use Harry Potter as, the backstory of Simon Snow. I mean, it's not plagiarism, it's just, I don't get it. That bothered me tremendously, and I don't even know why. That threw me off so much, because then, I could associate to it to being Harry Potter, like Simon Snow is Harry, and this, oh, I forgot his name, the bad guy is Draco. The bad guy's name is Baz, and he's a vampire. So in a way, it's basically Harry and Draco, minus a vampire. There was also another pop culture reference of Twilight, which that didn't bother me. It actually amused me greatly, so that made me giggle. Those are the only two things I really didn't like about this book, and I'm not ashamed to admit I skimmed, the Simon Snow bits. I couldn't help it. Was boring. And that's coming from someone who loves Harry Potter. So this is probably going to be one of the quickest reviews I've ever done for you guys, but again, it's a very popular book at the moment, and I don't want to spoil it for people, so go read it, buy it, love it, cherish it. I have mine in hardback, and I'm so excited. I also bought mine around my birthday, which was like December, and then February-ish, it finally came out here in the UK, only in paperback, so I'm gloating that I have a hardback edition. A+. I would love to do a next book that I'm reading for you guys, but I had to re-record, so this jar is not needed. So the next book I'm going to have up for you guys is The Dollhouse Asylum by Mary Gray. Ooh, pretty covers. So keep tuned for that. Fangirl, buy it, read it, love it, cherish it. It's an A+ in my book and probably going to be one of my top books of 2014. This is also the second book in my 100 book challenge. I don't know where I'm at now. I should probably figure that out. Keep tuned for The Dollhouse Asylum, and until then, you guys, happy reading. Bye!